So for today's video, I thought I'd look at my top 5 wishlist for Apex and what that means for me. They're in no particular order, they're just things that I'd like to see in Apex within the near future. So counting off from number 1. I would very much like to see a stats page where you can kind of look at your overall kills, wins, damage, etc. and all the other stats that go in there as well, because at the moment you can view most of them in the banner page, but it requires you to just look through each individual legend and look for your like wins and kills, and it just feels a bit clunky, to be honest. And if we had a stats page, I could just go, oh, I've got 20 wins. Oh, cool, sweet. Rather than someone asking you how many wins you've got and you genuinely having to go and tally it up. So this is something I hope we see rather soon, because it's not too hard to do. The stats are already saved within the game, they're just not displayed to the player. Moving on to numero 2, I would quite like to see people that repeatedly leave games even though they can be revived or their teammates are still alive be punished for it. It's a battle royale game where you need all your teammates, especially if you can revive them. It's silly to have a 2v3 like fight at the end of the game just because some guy can't be bothered waiting. I understand some people may not be able to play the entire game. If that's a rare occurrence, which it should be really, then fine, you shouldn't be punished for it. But if you're repeatedly leaving games one after the other, definitely needs to be punished in some way or the other, because otherwise you're just punishing your teammates. Although I also think that if you're going to leave a game and your teammates are still alive, it should warn you and go, you can still be revived. Are you definitely sure you want to leave the game, because you will not be able to reconnect? My third wish is for different size lobbies. While 3 is a good number to have in a squad, it would be quite nice if I didn't have to say no to some of my friends when they come online. Because we have such a big group of friends, quite a lot of us play it, and sometimes it ends up where one guy has to pretty much go and play by himself, which is kind of not fun, especially if it ends up being you. So I'd probably bet money that this is being worked on already, as obviously they'll have had a big influx of players who are used to quad, solo and duo. So what we get in the future is completely in their hands, but I'm sure they'll think of something. The fourth wish for Apex is better melee combat / netcode fix, because I'm not really sure which of the two is causing any issue. I don't know if this is just a PC thing, but sometimes when you're trying to punch people, they can hit you without being anywhere near you, and sometimes it's just like you walking through mud. So not only are you really slow and sometimes rubber banding back, sometimes it is essentially like you are punching thin air and you still kill someone. It's only happened a few times, but it seems to be getting more common. I'm not sure whether it's because the amount of players that are playing or what. But it's starting to feel a lot like PUBG in the early days, where the beginning of the rounds are really laggy. I'm not sure whether that's just the sheer volume of people, and I'm sure they're working on that as well. But in terms of the melee, it would definitely be nice to have a good solid melee combat system, because it feels really floaty at the minute and the lag does not help at the beginning of the round. But my last wish for Apex is going to sound a little bit far-fetched and a little bit hard to do, which it probably is, to be honest. But what I'd really like to see is localized tournaments that anyone can take part in, not just streamers. So whether they wanted to just do like UK, Germany, France, or whether they wanted to do EU as a total and then North America, etc., it's up to them really. But it would be nice to be able to just have a more competitive edge on it rather than just being pub matches. Because at the moment there's pretty much just streamer tournaments, and that seems to be what every game seems to be leading towards, and it's alright, but I'd rather play it than watch someone play it. But if you've got anything different that you'd like to see in the game, please leave that in the comments below and I'll be happy to read all your suggestions. And a big shout out to insaneintherains, who is behind the music that you hear in the background. He always does really good covers and originals. I will put the link to his channel in the description, go check him out and give him a sub. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, then give it a dislike. And if you really like me, you can give me a subscribe. And as always, I will put my Twitter and Twitch links in the description below. But as always, I hope to see you here for the next video.